Hey guys, this is Valentina Palladino for Ars Technica, and today I'm here with the newest Pebble watch. This is the Pebble 2 Plus HR. So this is the first watch that Pebble has ever introduced that has a heart rate monitor built into it. It's an optical heart rate monitor. It's much like the other heart rate monitors you'll find in any smartwatches or fitness trackers, but it's still a Pebble watch. It's still that, smartwatch that a lot of people know and love for its simplicity, just being an alternative to Android Wear or the Apple Watch. Let's take a look at some of the good things about the Pebble 2 and some of the bad things. So one of the good things about the Pebble 2 is its design. It's kind of a throwback to the original Pebble. It has that rectangular design. This one, since again it's the Pebble 2, it's not the Time 2, which is coming out later on, so it does not have that all metal design, but this one is pretty nice. It's extremely light, even with the heart rate monitor on the back here. So it's really nice, very easy to wear. All the models come with a soft touch silicone band, which is really, really good for working out. It's not really going to get in your way, and it's going to stay put. I can tighten this really tight so that the heart rate monitor can do its job, and because of the material of the band, it doesn't really go anywhere. It's almost toy-like in its design, kind of like the original Pebble was, but I don't consider that a bad thing. If you want the full color display, you'll have to wait for the Time 2, but with the monochrome, it's very bold. In most of the time that I was testing it, I didn't have direct sunlight because it's been pretty cloudy and rainy here. Even kind of bright lights in my apartment, or especially at the gym, it's very, very easy to read. So another good thing about the Pebble 2 is its interface. Pebble's added a couple of new features to this, but the main feature of the interface is the timeline UI. Here you can see that it basically divides up your time based on your calendar. So all the events that you have that are forthcoming in the day, you'll see here. I don't have very many going on today, and then you just hit this back button to go back. One of the really great things about this now is that they've added these things called peaking notifications. So right now, well, that's a full notification, but if you look at this peaking notification, these are only for your timeline. And as you can see, it disappeared because I looked at my timeline right there. But the peaking notifications will show you what's next on your calendar. So you don't have to look at your full timeline in order to know what's next on your calendar, which is really nice. On the side of the device, you have the back button, and you have all these three select buttons that are used to go up and down in the UI. Along with the heart rate monitor, Pebble has upped its ante with Pebble Health, and it replaced the upper select button with Pebble Health. Another great thing about the UI is now you have these quick launch settings that basically allow you to set functions for all four of the buttons. So for me, I can long press here, and I set that to open the workout app, the Pebble native workout app. So in that case, that's a really quick way for me to access that, because otherwise I would have to press once and go through a whole list of all of my apps in order to get there. Upper select with settings, so that's what I set for that. You can set functions for the watch, or you can set apps to open. So you can set, Yelp, or in this case, the weather app to open if you want to long press one of the buttons, or you can select something like sending a text message or composing a text message. You can also add that as a quick launch setting to one of the buttons if you want. So the last good thing we're going to talk about with the Pebble 2 is its battery life. Pebble's always been really great with battery life and putting in as much battery as they can to each device. And the Pebble 2 can last at least 7 days on a single charge. And in my experience, it might actually be longer depending on how much you use it. I get all of my smartphone notifications to the Pebble 2, and I record at least, I'd say, 30 minutes of activity using the heart rate monitor. The heart rate monitor is continuous, so it does periodically take your heart rate throughout the day too, so you have to consider that. But on my 6th day of using the Pebble 2, it was only down to 40% battery life. So that's pretty good. Something like the Apple Watch or even a lot of Android Wear devices will only really be able to last about 2 days on a single charge. And this does track sleeping as well, so you can just kind of put it on and forget about it, at least for 7 days, possibly more. So let's move on to the bad things about the Pebble 2, or just the inconvenient things. Well, one of the inconvenient things that I immediately noticed was how limited Pebble Health was, at least in terms of workout tracking. There's only a few workouts you can actually track with the watch. There's running, walking, and a miscellaneous one called workouts. And when you're actually tracking a workout, all you can see is your heart rate and the duration of time that you've been tracking that workout. So in comparison to most Fitbit devices and even the Apple Watch, it's pretty limited. You are not going to be able to see your pace. You're not going to be able to see even the steps that you've taken. I'm talking about just when you're recording a workout. In that sense, it's really limited. And also when you go into the Pebble app and you look at the Pebble Health page in the Pebble app, since they're all combined into one app, you only really see a total picture of your workout for that day. And you can look at the week's view and a month view. It really only gives you an overview, and that's going to be really limiting for a lot of people. So another small inconvenient thing about the Pebble 2 is its notifications. So you can get all of your smartwatch notifications, and a good thing about it is that you can go into the app and you can turn on and off for each app the notifications if you don't want to get certain ones to your watch. However, when you receive notifications, they kind of just stay on the watch face. So right now I have an email notification. I get a ton of emails, so those are the notifications that pop up the most on my watch. There's an email notification right now, and if I just don't do anything, if I don't dismiss it manually, it's not going to go away. The way you can do that is by pressing the middle button, and it'll let you dismiss one notification, or if you long press the middle button when a notification is on the screen, it will dismiss all of the notifications that are on the watch. So it's very easy to remedy. It just wasn't something that I was expecting when I was using the watch. So the last bad thing about the Pebble 2 that I'm going to talk about is kind of its selection of third-party apps. Personally, I didn't really find a lot of them very useful. The ones that I did find most useful for things like Yelp and maybe the weather app and maybe a few other ones, but I just didn't really find any of even the activity third-party apps or any regular third-party apps very useful. When you go into the Pebble app on your phone, you can search for different watch faces from other developers and other apps from other developers. And there's a Ready for Pebble 2 link in each of those, and a lot of the ones that are featured on there I just didn't really find very useful. There was one that was an alarms app, which the Pebble 2 has an alarm feature, so I just kind of used that instead. And as far as the activity third-party apps are concerned, there are a few good ones like Runtastic and Endomondo if you use those apps already, but they do require you to have the mobile app first. I think the developer community is very strong with the Pebble, within Pebble, so if you like experimenting with smaller and different apps, you might like third-party app selection, but for me, I just didn't really find that any of them would either replace apps that I already use or really enhance my experience with the Pebble 2 itself. So overall, I think the Pebble 2 is a good addition to the Pebble lineup of smartwatches. I will say that if you're looking for a fitness experience, I don't think this is the device for you. Just because you put a heart rate monitor into an app doesn't mean that it's going to be a fitness device that will give you a really good fitness and activity tracking experience. I found that was really lacking in the Pebble 2. But overall, I mean, this device, the Pebble 2, is $130. That's a great price considering what you're getting in terms of the smartwatch features and the basic activity tracking features. The fact that you're getting a heart rate monitor by itself, like in a $130 device, is pretty good. By comparison, I mean, the Fitbit Charge 2 is $150, and it does have an optical heart rate monitor in it. So if you're looking for more of a fitness device, there are other companies that make better fitness devices. I think if you're looking for a more stripped down version of a smartwatch, something that can deliver you notifications, can, really organize your times, can kind of help you not stay on your phone or open your phone throughout the day, the Pebble 2 is a pretty good device that can do that, and it's also really affordable.